Hi, it is iYikksm time again. So in past 3 days, there are a lot of things happening on discussing on about the force flow and so forth, Tai Chi, Jing, Wing Chun force flow, explode type or power implode type, and a whole bunch of stuff. And many of our Wing Chun friends message me asking me, so why is it have this problem, okay? And I like to share with you this. I don't like to look at problem because if we don't have a solutions, there's no good to point at other people who do what wrong on those kind of stuff. We need the solutions, okay? So look at the solution is better so that everybody benefit. So what is the solution? Solution is education. Because most people is not educated. And that's why we run into this mess. Is anybody wrong? No, it's not. Because after Opium War, the Chinese actually become westernized. And they actually drop a lot of Chinese culture, and only very few of the Chinese preserve that. And of course the classic book have it, but you know, how many really go read those books? So all this thing is actually very simple if we want to make it an official educations. As I mentioned about the 4 key elements: momentum characteristics, the power type, mechanics, and the physical body conditioning. If we use this 4 as a systematic analytical tools or the tools to study, we will be really clear on what's going on, okay? So for example, the first thing is this. The bottom line according to general Qi Guang is the momentum. So every different style have their own different momentum. And with the Chinese martial art, you can break into 2 systems, okay, in stereotype. One is the long fist, one is the short strike. Okay? The long fist has its long fist fighting momentum type. The short strike have its short strike fighting momentum type. They are different. Okay? Now, the issue today is that people forgot there is a long fist and a short strike. I give you an example. If we watch a Choi Lei Fat and Wing Chun competition, such as in Macau and Hong Kong, what you see is this. The Choi Lei Fat is a long fist, and it actually preserves its long fist training and applications. And when you fight a long fist. The momentum is a long fist. But if you look at today, Wing Chun, in those competitions, the Wing Chun is also fight like a long fist. The difference that Wing Chun go linear, go straight in, okay, like punching to the, striking to the center line. Now, there is an issue because people already do not know how to differentiate between the long fist and the short strike. And they think everything is the same. Okay? And actually Wing Chun have used or influenced by Choi Lei Fat a lot. For example, many saying that, oh, when you do the chain punch, you want to relax your shoulder. Okay? You just chain punch, relax the shoulder. Guess what? That is actually belong to the Choi Lei Fat, the long fist people. Okay? They relax their shoulder, they shoot out their punch. Okay? But today's Wing Chun, many is saying that, oh yeah, we want to do this. Okay? And then when we talk about short strike, people will say, oh, I just has to be using short bridge, meaning that not punching this far away. Okay, actually short bridge. Now, if you shorten the arm, and short strike is a completely two different thing. In the ancient, when people say short bridge, that is indications of short strike. But today, when people say that there's a short bridge, they mean they shorten their arm. It's different, okay? So number one thing is, one need to know what is a long fist momentum, what is a short strike momentum. That is the root one need to get educated. Okay? Now, based on this long fist and the short strike confusion, another chaotic situation or distortion come into Wing Chun. So what happened is, past 50, 60 years, due to the northern internal art, which is at the ally of Xingyi, Tai Chi, and Bagua, their marketing is very good, and everybody thinking that, oh, you know, internal art is advanced art. So everybody want to get a piece of this advanced art into their art. Now there's a problem here. The Tai Chi, particularly, you know, the internal art, the Tai Chi, the Xingyi, the Bagua. The Tai Chi is Yang Tai Chi. Yang Tai Chi is a long fist art. Now, if we import that Yang Tai Chi stuff into the Wing Chun, then there's big problem, because again, Wing Chun become, you import the Charlie Fat kind of stuff inside Wing Chun, and then you import the Yang Tai Chi type of stuff into Wing Chun, and the Wing Chun, even though we all call it sticking body, short strike, Kip San Tuin Ta, we are no longer practice Kip San Tuin Ta. We actually practice long fist. And how is the Wing Chun, according to the set, Xiu Ling Tao Chang Kiu Biu Ji and all this wooden dummy practice and everything works when it is designed for teaching or practicing the short strike. Now suddenly people are using this long fist type of momentum. So it messed the whole thing up. And we don't want to blame anybody, but we can see that now we need to correct it. We need to clearly understand what is a long fist art, what type of momentum is that, and what is the short strike art, what type of momentum is that. This is an education we need to implant right now, today. That's why I push for the Wing Chun West era, okay? Because we cannot continue going on here. It is like trying to use a truck engine in a Ferrari or a Porsche. You cannot do that. It doesn't work. Okay? Now, so there's the momentum, there's the bottom line. Okay? And we go to the power type. We'll talk about force flow. Okay? Jing, force flow. There's a problem with this Jing and force flow topic also. So what happened is that mostly today, people all talk about this Jing, and this is Jing, like the Tai Chi push hand Jing, but they have no idea that the bottom line is momentum, as in the General Qi Ji Guang book. So everybody talking about, oh, I have this type of Jing, I have advanced type of Jing, knowing not that Jing is just a secondary element, which is helping or supporting the momentum. So everybody can go investigate all type of Jing, But it's not going to be realistic because the bottom line is momentum. Okay? And again, the Jing has different type of power, which is supporting different type of momentum. It's not one size fit all. So if people thinking they got this Tai Chi Jing and they think that this is the most ancient, by the way, the Yang Tai Chi is pretty recent creations, okay? In the mid-1800s, okay? Wing Chun might be even much earlier than Yang Tai Chi, okay? Look at his history, okay? So if you take this Yang Tai Chi Jing and you think that it is one size fit all, you put into your Wing Chun and you think that this is the ultimate because this Yang Tai Chi Jing is the oldest Jing and so forth, so forth, so forth, then it creates a big issue here. Because Yang Tai Chi Jing is supporting the long fist, okay? It's not supporting the short strike of Wing Chun, the short strike momentum of Wing Chun, okay? So there's two issues here. One is Jing is not everything. Momentum is the thing which is one need to watch out. Otherwise, one is not be able to use in fighting. The second thing is use wrong type of Jing or wrong type of power to support the momentum. Then it doesn't work. So to repeat again, number one is thinking that this Jing or force or power is the ultimate. Oh, I can bounce you, I can fly you. Instead of knowing that momentum is the ultimate, the bottom line, not this power. Okay. The second thing is using a wrong type of power, trying to support the momentum that create power. Okay. So this is about power. So the first is the momentum, the second is about power, the power type. The third is mechanics. And this is where a lot of people screw up. If you talk to people who talk about Jing, internal, the first thing they talk about Qi, energy. Okay? In fact, it is not that. Power, Jing, force flow is a physical element. It has to have a mechanics to support that or to implement that. The mechanics. Okay? We know today the short strike mechanic like Wing Chun is retract so that one have the mechanical advantage while retract, and then one torque, and then using the action reaction force. That's Wing Chun mechanics. Tai Chi have their own mechanics. Okay, even the Yang Tai Chi mechanics and the Chen Tai Chi mechanics is different. Okay, but today people don't look at that. People say Qi instead of understand what is the mechanic. So the issue is that one can spend a lifetime or 1,000 lifetime keeping talking about Qi. If they do not know the mechanic, it's a case of death. You go nowhere. Okay? Now, going down about the body. Even though everybody is saying, oh, the body has to be conditioned to be loose and so forth. Well, it is a different thing. I always saying the 7 bowls, the Wing Chun and so forth, the feet bowl and everything. When people sometimes say, oh yeah, the Yang Tai Chi have the 9 poles and so forth. Are they the same? No, it's not the same. Did the Yang Tai Chi 9 pole talk about the feet bowl? No. They have different system. Okay? So the body conditioning is different. The Yang Tai Chi body condition, or the Chen Tai Chi body condition, and the Wing Chun body condition is different, because the body condition has to support the mechanics of the style, and to support the power type, and to support the momentum. Okay? So it's not as simple as general saying that, oh yeah, body condition is you song. What is song? Okay? So is, for example, the guy who compete in gymnastic in Olympic, and the guy who playing the tennis, their body conditioning is different. That's an example. Okay? So you see, one need to get the education from this four keys, which is, I put it into systematic way. Need to know the momentum characteristic, need to know the power type, and then the mechanics, and then the body type, the body condition type. If we know that it's clear, we will not screw up like today, trying to use the Tai Chi Jing in Wing Chun Chi Sao, and then when we talk about Wing Chun is close range, then we just say, oh yeah, we just make short our bridge, and that's it. No, it's not. It's not that. It cannot be that. Okay. It has to be really specific. So this need education. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong, and in fact I don't want to blame anybody. What I see is this need an education. And if most people have the educations, if the education become publicly available to everybody, then you don't see this issue. Okay? And there's a lot of things is obvious, common sense. Okay? And another thing also, speaking about this chi stuff, if one doesn't really have a details handling on the 6 core element, which including the 13 state, one really don't know anything about it. People sometimes argue, right? Oh, I talk about energy too, I talk about chi also, I talk about different stuff, and the 6 core element is like, I talked about it a long time ago. But you know what? 6 core element is really specific. You have 13 state. So as the other day I'm talking about, it's like the energy state of the solid state physics. We know which state it is. It is not just a terms which is really, like a very vague term. We can cover, umbrella, everything. Okay. It is not. Your physical element, if you do not be able to attain the 3 state, we know what is the effect. The mind element, we know what is the effect. We cannot just say like the New Age, or mind, body, chi, breathing. You can't say that, because it's very simple to check people's breathing. Seriously. We know the breathing have 4 states. Just look at the person and then we can check it. And all these things have a signature. The physical be able to trace it. It cannot be lie. Okay? One need to work with it to understand it, to know it, to be able to handle it. So, since you guys asked me, what is the problem? Education is the problem. Education is the solutions. And I speak up because this thing can cause the whole Wing Chun to go under if we do not careful today. Okay, because today everybody, most of people thinking, oh, it's only one type of martial art. They don't know about long fist or short strike, and they just do long fist. And then they say, oh yeah, internal art from the northern, like Yang Tai Chi, is advanced. So import that into Wing Chun, that become the most ancient or original engine and so forth. Okay, by their logic, is that true? Sure, if there is no such thing as long fist and short strike, then they are right. The issue is looking into 1560s, really understand Chinese martial art, that is not the case. And now we see clearly, you import that Tai Chi Jing type of stuff, the long fist stuff, into the short strike, you're going to create distortion and problem there. And if Wing Chun going that path, Wing Chun is over. It's no longer Wing Chun. So this is what I like to share with you. And of course, if people like to mix Wing Chun with Tai Chi, it's perfectly well. But please do not call it Wing Chun. You can call it Tai Chi with Wing Chun move. That's perfect. But don't call it Wing Chun, because Wing Chun always is sticking by the short strike. So this is for you today.